Hey, BassGeek here, and today we're going to talk about underspins for summer bass. Okay, before we jump right into talking about the underspins for summer bass, which, by the way, if you're deep fishing, you're ledge fishing, and you're not throwing an underspin for summer bass, you are missing out. Let me tell you, it has been a staple in my ledge or offshore arsenal now for several years. And I throw them in several different sizes. But before we get into doing that, let's talk about the Mystery Tackle Box Pro. Guys, every month Mystery Tackle Box sends me a free Mystery Tackle Box Pro to give away to you guys. So what I always do is I always go through and I pick a bait out that we can do a how-to on. Yep, I've already given it away. So, guys, like I always say, make sure you go out and you get a subscription. Try out Mystery Tackle Box. There is a discount code so you can get it for super cheap in the description below. Like I always say, you old heads, you guys that are just starting out fishing, you know, for us guys that are, you know, the old school, it gives us something to go out and fish and try something new. Get outside of our box, get outside of our rut, which, let me tell you, me and my buddy Jeremy, who's behind the camera right now, have been in the rut today. So if I look sweaty, it's because it's been 1 billion degrees and we've been out here offshore fishing. And when I say offshore fishing, I mean offshore fishing. There ain't been a whole lot of catching, but that's a video for another day. Anyway, so whether you're building your arsenal or whether you just want to learn new techniques, give Mystery Tackle Box a try. Like I said, there's a code down in the bottom. Let's open the box up and see what we've got. All right, now I'm a big fan of the 10,000 Fish Crusie bug. This is the Yodo worm. Basically looks like a straight tail ribbed worm. I like that. They can be fished a lot of different ways. We've got a Guggen Baits frog in black. Black's always a good color for a frog. We've got a Lifted Jigs Slim Swim Jig. Good looking little swim jig right there. Some good looking colors. We've got the Headbanger Rocker Head. Kind of like a wobble head or a swing head, but it's got an indentation so it puts off a lot of vibration. And we've got in the Why Not by Gambler. Little trailer, probably worked good on that head. From Lake Fork, we've got basically what looks like a ribbed style of a Cinco bait. And what we're actually going to be putting to use today from Death Wish Baits, it's hand poured Lunkers Beware, is a nice little swim bait. So we're going to put one of these on the underspin. We're going to go out to a spot where me and Jeremy have caught some fish at today. I'll show you how, but first, let's talk about how I like to rig them. So let's talk about my favorite underspin head. This is by Ledge Head Lures. This is the Tennessee River Bling Micro. Now they make some big ones, and this is actually a 3/4. You can see the difference for your 5 and 6 inch. A little bigger bait, little bigger profile if you've got some bigger bait fish. But I'm going to show you how to rig these. I love the fact that they have a screw lock on the hook, and this wire is super stout. We're not talking about a light wire, so you can actually adjust the wire and the blade to help you run true or maybe in a particular direction. Now let's talk about how I actually rig them. The very first thing I can do, and you can see this is a little bigger swim bait. It's a little bigger than your standard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it up. This is a 4/2 ounce. I'm going to fish it a little deeper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it to where I want it to be, and I'm just going to to put me a little mark. I'm using my thumb. I'm going to put me a little mark right here in the back, which will allow me to see where the hook needs to come out. Now this is a split belly, so not a hollow body, a hollow belly. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go straight into its very puckered, upset looking lips. We're going to come out through that split belly. We're going to push it up, roll it around. We're going to find that hole. We're going to go ahead and bring that hook out, okay? So then what we're going to do is we're going to pull back. We're going to lift up. We're going to make sure that is kind of bunched up, but we're just going to start spinning. So you just bend the tail, screw the bait up on there, work with the head, and there you have it. Nice, straight, really a good looking little swim bait. Now one of the things that I like to do, because it makes it look like two, is I like to push that wire almost straight down so we get good clearance from the bottom of the swim bait. It also looks like either a little bigger shad or two shad swimming together. Now let's talk about rod, reel, and line setup for this. So rod, reel, and line, and let me talk a little bit about TRC covers. Guys, make sure, like I always say, this is the best tip in the business, best tip protection of any covers on the market. So make sure you get them. Like I said, what's always great is they don't just slide off, and you don't really even need the strap. You just pop them right off, and there we go. So rod, reel, and line setup, guys. For this 1/2 ounce, I'm going to throw it on either a medium heavy with a fast tip, but it's got to be the lighter side of the medium heavies. For me, this is kind of a specialty rod. This is actually a Killer Bass Baits rod. I've had these for quite a while, but it's actually a little bit softer. Even though it's a fast tip, it's a little bit soft for a medium heavy. Now, since I've got the blade on this, I've got a lot of lift. I use 12-pound test, so fluorocarbon. I want this to get down. I don't want anything that's going to float. I don't use a leader on this. I've got braid backing, but I never get to the braid backing when I'm casting. 12-pound will keep it down. You can go to 15 if you're around big fish. You know, around here, 3 to 5 is a big fish, honestly. So that 12-pound, if I can't horse a fish in with 12-pound test in open water, something's wrong. Of course, I'm always using my favorite swim bait reel, which is the Lew's BB1 Pro. It is one of my favorite all-time reels. This thing's got a good wide spool. It's going to cast a mile. It is a 6.4 to 1. 6.2, 6.3, 6.4. You're going to have to reel this thing painfully slow in the depths. Now, if you're fishing in ponds, you know, this is a 1/2 ounce bait. You're probably going to want to go a little lighter than that, 1/8, a quarter, you know, something a little bit smaller. But the thing about an underspin is it's always slow. Swim baits, always slow. You want it right above the bottom or dragging the bottom at times. Let's get out here on the spot me and Jeremy have caught some fish on today. Hopefully we'll catch one, and I'll kind of show you how we go about casting it. So what we've got out here, we've got a long point. I don't know if you can see that stump way off in the distance, but there is a point that comes in, it drops down, creates a ledge, drops into the creek channel. We've got a school of about probably 15, 20 fish sitting out there. So what you always want to do with this is you want to cast out farther than that school. So you want to make a nice long cast. Now there's two different retrieves, and they're both straight retrieves. The first retrieve I'm going to show you is I'm going to let it sink to the bottom. I'm going to feed it line as I see it pull. There it is. I'm going to give it a couple of quick turns of the reel handle, and I'm just going to slow roll it. When I say slow rolling, I mean, again, this is a 6.3 to 1, and I am really crawling that reel handle. Now, let's say we had some suspended bass out there. Again, same concept. Long cast. We're going to count this bait down. This bait falls about a foot a second. Right there. So now, again, we're just going to slow roll this bait. That keeps the bait up above the fish or right at the level the bass are. That's it, guys. That is all there is to fishing an underspin, no matter where you're at, lake, pond, river. It's either, really for me, the best two retrieves are on the bottom, slow rolling, or counting it down, fishing higher in the water column. And it is a great suspended fish bait. So how do you win the box? It's real simple. Just make sure you comment hashtag MTB down in the comment section below, and you'll be entered to win. We'll give this box away 1 week from the day this video come out. All right. As always, questions, comments in the comment section below, guys. You know I love to talk about fishing with you. Make sure you comment hashtag MTB to win this month's Mystery Tackle Box Pro. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you guys hit the notification bell so you can get notified when these videos come out. I appreciate you guys watching. And as always, you guys rock.